Imagine a boy named Thomas living in a small town. Every morning, his alarm rang at 6, but instead of getting up, he hit snooze again and again. By the time he rushed to school, he was late, unprepared, and often scolded. After school, he promised himself he would study, but the moment he opened his books, another habit took over. His hand reached for his phone. Hours went by scrolling, laughing at reels, and when night came, guilt filled his heart. Thomas wanted to change. He wanted to be strong, successful, and admired. But he didn't realize one truth. His habits were writing his destiny. One night, frustrated with himself, he whispered, "Why am I like this? Why can't I change?" And as if the universe had heard him, something magical happened. A soft golden light filled his room. Out of the light stepped an old man with kind eyes and a wise smile. He introduced himself as Sage Kaizen, the guardian of habits. "Thomas," he said, "your life is nothing but the sum of your habits. Let me show you." With a wave of his hand, the room transformed. Thomas suddenly stood in a grand library where every book represented a person's life. Sage Kaizen pulled out one book. On the cover it read, "The Story of Thomas." The pages inside were filled with two colors, bright gold for good habits and dark gray for bad ones. To Thomas's shock, most of the pages were gray. "See," said Kaizen, "every action you repeat daily writes your story, not your dreams, not your wishes, but your habits." To explain, Kaizen snapped his fingers, and Thomas was transported into a maze with a little rat. The rat sniffed, scratched, wandered. Finally, it found chocolate at the end. The next day, the rat ran straight to the chocolate without thinking. Kaizen explained, "This is your brain, Thomas. It loves shortcuts. Cue, routine, reward. That is the loop of every habit. Whether brushing your teeth, checking your phone, or wasting hours online, your brain follows the same path." Thomas frowned. "So I'm trapped forever?" Kaizen smiled. "Not trapped, trained. And what is trained can be retrained." Suddenly, Thomas found himself on a basketball court. A figure was practicing before sunrise. Thousands of shots again and again. It was Kobe Bryant. Kaizen whispered, "Greatness is built on boring habits, repeated until they become automatic." Then the scene shifted. Thomas saw Virat Kohli sweating in the gym, refusing junk food, building a new identity of discipline. Then came Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Oprah, all shown not as legends, but as ordinary people with extraordinary habits. Thomas's eyes widened. "So habits can make me great too?" "Yes," said Kaizen, "but beware. The same force can destroy you." The sky darkened. Thomas was now surrounded by shadows of men smoking, drinking, endlessly scrolling their phones. A huge clock ticked, each second representing wasted years. Kaizen's voice thundered, "Bad habits are silent killers. Smoking, procrastination, digital addiction. They give pleasure today, but steal tomorrow." Thomas shivered. "How do I fight them?" Kaizen raised his staff, and glowing words appeared. "Change the routine, not the reward. Feel stress? Don't smoke. Run? Feel bored? Don't scroll. Read? Want energy? Don't grab junk. Exercise," Kaizen continued. "Make bad habits difficult. Remove temptations. Delete the app. Throw out the cigarettes. Lock away distractions. And make good habits easy. Keep the book on your desk. Put your shoes by the door. Prepare healthy food in advance. Habits aren't about willpower, Thomas. They are about design." The world shifted again. Thomas now stood on a mountain. Halfway up, people were gasping, giving up. But a few kept climbing steadily, step by step. Kaizen said, "This is the secret. Small habits compound. Reading 10 pages daily becomes hundreds of books. Saving a little money daily becomes wealth. One push-up becomes strength. Excellence is not a single act, it's a habit." As they climbed, Thomas asked, "But what if I fail?" Kaizen chuckled. "Then you start again. Habits are not about perfection, but consistency. Finally, they reached the mountain peak. There, Thomas saw a glowing mirror. Inside it was not the lazy boy he knew, but a strong, disciplined version of himself. Kaizen said, habits are not about what you do. They are about who you become. Don't say, I want to study. Say, I am a learner. Don't say, I want to be fit. Say, I am an athlete. When habits become your identity, they never leave you. Thomas touched the mirror and felt a surge of energy. In that moment, he understood. His future wasn't built in one day, it was built every day. The golden light returned, and Thomas found himself back in his room. The alarm rang. This time, he didn't hit snooze. He got up, smiled, and whispered, I am no longer a prisoner of bad habits. I am the creator of good ones. And slowly, day by day, his story changed. Because in the end, you don't decide your future. You decide your habits, and your habits decide your future. This was Story Nest, where stories meet transformation. If today's journey opened your eyes, imagine what's waiting in the next one. Don't just watch, live the lesson. Subscribe now, and let's build a nest of stories that change lives, one habit at a time.